Okay. Good morning from Nashville. Look at this hair. Ooh, it's like hair curtains.
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like I look pretty good.
You look beautiful.
Oh.
Did you see that? I'm sorry. How many chins do you have from this angle?
Ooh.
I'm playing a game. It's called Count the Chins. Okay, so let me introduce you. This is Laura. Laura is the publisher of Good Grit magazine and one of my dearest friends. And you may recognize Laura as the girl who let me put mascara on her at Target, where I found her. And I was like, hey, lady, can I put some mascara on you?
Yeah, that's exactly how that went down. We just happened to be in the aisle of Target.
You may also recognize her from the video we made announcing that I was coming on board Good Grit magazine. So I sucker Laura into all different types of videos. Just you wait. This is just the beginning of pulling this Savannah, Georgia girl out of her comfort zone. So I asked her to be in Coffee Talk with me today because we were having a great conversation in the car yesterday while we were driving about positivity. And like, I'm going to be honest. I have to work a lot at being positive. I do. Because old habits die hard. And I spent a long time being a scowl. Like, you think you're so cute. You think you're so smart. You think everything you do is so good. And when you're like that for so long, it's hard to go, you know what? She actually is cute. And she actually does work really hard. And she actually does do amazing things and be okay with that. And sort of like, I don't know, we were talking about people who always have a negative spin on things. The way they deliver information to you is always negative.
It's funny because I think that it happens, and a lot of times you don't know you're doing it, number one, but number two, if you want to test yourself, if you want to know if you're a positive or a negative person, when you're with someone or when you're by yourself and you walk away from them, the interesting thing that will happen is you will say something. You'll say something to yourself. You'll say something to you. You and I had 10 meetings yesterday, and every time we got in the car, this is what happened. We said, I love them.
I love them.
I love them.
That was
They are
amazing.
great. That was wonderful.
Awesome.
That was awesome. And every time, we could have had a different view on that. We could have said, I don't know if that person even liked us or whatever. But every time we got in the car, it was, wow, they were really great. Or, wow, they really loved the book. Or whatever it was. And that's a great way to gauge. But I know, for me, that I've always been a positive person. And it's always been, I'm either really annoying or really encouraging to people.
You're annoying sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
Sometimes.
Nobody.
Hey!
Oh my God!
She's like, Oprah, it's Friday! You're like, oh my God.
You get a humpback whale, and you get a humpback whale, and you get a humpback whale.
When you're drank?
When I'm drunk.
When I'm drunk. When I'm drunk, you get a text, and you get a text, and you get a text. Oh, we're like drunk Oprah. But the point is that what happens is as you start to grow away from the negativity, because eventually you do. If somebody would have told me when I was 24 that at some point in my life I was going to be a giving person, a happy person, I never would have believed them because I was in such a place of pain. But pain in your life is a symbol that something has to change.
Isn't that don't you agree that there's always that moment of impact? And sometimes there's a moment of impact in your life that creates negativity and it takes a long time to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes there's a moment of impact where you choose to take that positive route and you choose to say, you know what? Wow, that just happened and now I'm going to see life this way. For me, it was the challenges of growing up the way that I did kind of made me look at life, and it was like, well, you can either say life sucks or you can look at life and go, you know what, life is good. Life is good because I choose to see it being good.
But it is hard dealing. Let's talk about dealing with people who are constantly negative.
Yes.
It will wear on you. I mean, it could wear the skin out of your heels.
From a person who is perpetually positive, it's the thing that could beat you down the most.
Every time I have people in my life who I don't think they've delivered a piece of information to me without a sigh at the end. Like ever. every time I just know when the phone rings that it's going to be some dramatic episode, some negative something, and it will suck you in like a bad flush on an airplane bathroom. It will suck you right down. It's amazing. You can put so much positivity out, and you have to put 9,000 ounces of positivity out to make the impact you want to make. But boy, let somebody with a negative spin come, and they can ruin they could ruin a wet dream. It's like legit. Like you could have the best day, right? We could have a day like we had yesterday. Meetings go great, everything. And then you get the call from that one person who's like, this is never gonna work.
The sky's falling.
And you're like, listen, Chicken Little, you just ruined my whole freaking day. Okay, why is that?
I don't know, but
annoying.
So this is what when this subject kind of came up for us, and we thought, wow, and she was like, we're doing a coffee talk. I'm like, great, because I look beautiful in the morning with no coffee. This is my favorite. But one of the things that we were talking about is how to encourage, if you're that positive person, how do you encourage the negative Nancy in your life?
Wait, real quick. Hold that thought. Don't lose it. You said something profound yesterday.
Oh.
That was so hard for me to hear because it was me. It's not me anymore, but it was. You said, how to tell if you're the negative person. If everybody if you have a problem with everybody, but what did you say? But the common denominator is everyone. What was it?
I said, this is how when I judge a situation, if ever I'm like, is this me? And like, if I have this problem with this person, but is it me? Is it my fault? I always look at it and say, okay, does everyone have a problem with me? Is this something that is consistently happening in my life?
Right.
Am I having conflict with everyone on this level? If the answer is no, but you look at that other person and they're constantly battling these same exact situations with everyone else, then the common denominator is that them. Person.
Right. And I thought that was so profound because that used to be me. I used to think the world was the issue, not me. I could not see that it was me. Even though I knew that like I was filled with aggression and conflict into my bones. Mm-hmm. My body ached from how sad I was and angry I was all the time. I refused to see it because it was too painful for me to admit that it was me. So I was always the one, and I could be funny about the drama, but I was always the one in the drama. And I thought that was so profound yesterday. If you have an issue with somebody and you start to think, is it me? Like, what is my contribution to this? Like, is it my fault? Like, why can't I get along with this person?
Do you have those problems all the time?
If you look around you and see that you don't have that issue, they have that issue with everyone. It is 99.9% them.
Right.
Not you.
And I think, a challenge for me is that, for me personally, and as someone who's like super positive, who, like rainbows and butterflies and unicorns are always flying around. The truth is, no, that's hilarious. You're always like, stop. You need to just reel it in.
Stop. Hammer time.
7. Yes.
Elaborate and listen.
But I think that if you're that person, then the challenge is, I have a dear friend of mine who always says, like, listen, you always think you're strong enough to pull those people up. You always think like you're the one that's going to be pulling them up. But the truth is, negativity is very powerful.
Oh.
And those people can pull you down. So my question to Jamie yesterday was, how do you, and this was kind of where the conversation started, if you have that person in your life that's really negative, how do you love them? How do you bring them closer to your positiveness and get rid of the negativity? Or how do you love them through that?
Well, I will say that nobody really loved me through it. Most people tolerated it because I was family and because they had to. Mm-hmm. I know this is going to sound terrible, but I am too old. I have eliminated the people from my life that are not family that were that way because, remember we talked about in Cawfeetawk being the coat hanger for everybody, where everyone just comes in and drops all their crap on you and you're the one standing there holding up their negativity. And it's like, I'm putting the cup down. I'm not holding your negativity anymore. You can choose to love them in a way that is healthy for you, that doesn't damage you. See, that's the tricky thing.
So boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because a lack of boundaries breeds a lack of respect. And when you don't set boundaries for the way people talk to you or treat you or what they dump on you, you're not teaching them respect for you. So they will just dump on you all the time. I do think that people need to be loved back to life. So I don't think that walking away from people that you think you could make a difference. It's hard because you're either the person trying to hold them up and pull them out of that negativity, or there's that weird balance of how do I continue to love them through it. You don't want to bail on people who need you, but at the same time, you have to protect your peace. Because if every single time you are trying to work towards the life you want to live, as a mother, as a friend, as a publisher, as a woman, as a servant of God, whatever it is, they are poo-pooing you. It is because they are unhappy with who they are and where they are. And you can't fix that. They have to do that on their own. So what you can do is say, look, I love you, but the space you're in is not healthy for me. And that's the difference, is I love you and I'm not going anywhere, but just so you know, the space you are in and the way you choose to view the world is not healthy for me.
And that is a brave conversation to have.
Ooh.
That's a conversation that really is, especially when it's someone that's super close to your heart and you love them a lot, is setting those boundaries. And it's not just setting them, it's sticking to them. It's making that choice to say, hey, I'm not only going to set these boundaries, I'm going to have this conversation, and then I'm going to hold you accountable and hold myself accountable to make sure that we stay in this space.
It is scary because angry people, negative people get very defensive.
Yeah.
And when they get defensive, they lash out. And then they either get nasty or they play the victim. And either one is a tough...
Yeah, it's hard.
All right, this is a long coffee talk, but we want to hear what you think. Do you have negative people in your life? If so, how do you deal with them? We want to know because I feel like we all deal with people who try to smother our dreams. All right, well, we love you today. It's Friday. It's the start of a long weekend. So we are going to drive back to Birmingham after our last meeting here in Nashville. Nashville, it's been real. We love you so much today. Have a great day.